recovers valuables as part of crackdown on criminal gangs operating across the nation. Many thanks for joining us. President Bola Tinubu is urging the media to strive more and play their role with wisdom, fairness and sense of national duty towards a better democratic governance and cohesion in Nigeria. This was at the opening session of the 21st All Nigeria Editors Conference held at the State House, Abuja. State House correspondent Musbao Danwahab reports.
President Bola Tinubu in his domain, yet a guest here. His presence is seen as significant by the Guild of Editors being the first sitting president to grace this assemblage in 21 years of search. For that long, the top hierarchy of gatekeepers have taken their watchdog role further in shaping national dialogue and direction. The president, also a major player in the industry, commends the role of the media in the defense of justice and good governance since colonial, through military era and to date.
Their sacrifices are part of the foundation upon which our democracy rests today. Yet, freedom secured through struggle is not self-sustaining. It requires constant vigilance and reasonable exercise. A democracy is sustained not only by elections and laws, but also by the integrity of the public conversation. This is where your role becomes central and indispensable as last man standing.
Again, the chief gatekeepers are opening the gate of national discourse ahead of the 2027 transition period with the theme Democratic Governance and National Cohesion, the role of editors. For President Tinubu, this is a necessary national conversation to have, and so urges them to prioritize national interest with objective and constructive critique of government activities, particularly now in an era where the social media have empowered more people the right of way into the media space.
Falsehood can take root before truth has time to speak. In such an environment, the editorial function is more important than ever. Verification must be your anchor. Balance must be your principle. And professional judgment must be your guide. I urge you, therefore, to continue upholding the highest standard of journalism. Report boldly, but do so truthfully. Criticize government policy, but do so with knowledge and fairness. Your aim must never be to tear down what we are building together, but to help build a better society.
As the president expects outcomes of the discussions on this platform, he promises to look into the various challenges inhibiting media sector in Nigeria. From the State House, Musbao Wahab, NTA News.
And speakers on the 21st All Nigeria Editors Conference want editors to see themselves not just as custodians of information and interpreters of events who shape public opinions, but as catalysts in promoting democratic governance, national cohesion, and development. It was not just another meeting of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, but a national dialogue.
We must ask ourselves, how can editors contribute to credible election, national dialogue, peace building, and inclusive governance? We are particularly delighted that the president is here.
For the first time in our nation's history, a sitting president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, is gracing the Nigerian Guild of Editors Conference with his presence. This is a powerful testament to the high esteem in which this administration holds the fourth estate of the realm. The President's presence reminds me of the long struggle and resilience that have defined the Nigerian press from the colonial days to our tortuous journey to democracy.
Being a media person, being a press man, does not just give you powers, but it confers responsibilities.
When your editorial framing treats every electoral challenge as evidence of systemic fraud, rather than contextualizing it within an imperfect but improving process, you are not being objective. You are making a choice, and that choice has consequences.
Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Alhaji Mohammed Saad Abubakar, the Executive Director News, NTA Headquarters, Ayo Adewuyi, and Prince Nduka Obaigbena, Chairman This Day and Arise Media Group, are among participants at this conference. In Abuja, Chinenye Uwoye, NTA News. Senate and House of Representatives have approved federal government's domestic borrowing request of 1.150 trillion naira. The money will be used to bridge funding gaps in the approved budget of 2025. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
In the reports from the Committees on Local and Foreign Debts submitted and approved at plenary, it was indicated that the 1.1 trillion naira low-interest loan is for long-term capital expenditure and human capital development.
The Federal Ministry of Finance and Debt Management Office should undertake the borrowing strictly within approved fiscal parameters, ensuring that all terms, conditions favorable, transparent, and sustainable.
In another consideration, Senate is proposing 2 months jail term or 500,000 naira fine as punishment on anyone who engages a domestic staff that is less than 18 years, as it passed the Informal Sector Employment Regulation Law. Meanwhile, Senate passed for second reading 3 health-related establishments bills.
The proposed National Eye Center, Boko, will complement the existing National Eye Center in Kaduna for the establishment of a medical eye center in Mango Plateau State to reenact the National Primary Health Care Development Bill 2020-25 to provide for a comprehensive framework for the delivery of quality, equitable, and accessible primary health care services.
It also mandated committees on electoral matters and judiciary to investigate the delineation exercise in Warri Federal Constituency by the Independent National Electoral Commission.
The coordinates allegedly show that some of the communities are in Edo and Ondo states.
At other engagements, Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions interacted with stakeholders as it proposes raising the capital base of Nigeria Export and Import Bank (NEXIM) to 1 trillion naira and the amendments of the Insurance Act to strengthen the National Insurance Commission as a regulator.
These 2 bills, they symbolize a broader reform agenda of the Senate to modernize Nigeria's financial system and financial institutions and regulatory framework.
The Nigeria Export-Import Bank is not merely a bank. It is a bridge between our factories and foreign markets, between vision and achievement.
The bank is chaired by the Central Bank of Nigeria, and we think that there would be a conflict.
Organized private sector. Its involvement in the governance of NEXIM Bank will help ensure that the concerns and priorities of exporters, manufacturers, and commercial actors are robustly captured.
The 2 bills would further consolidate Nigeria's role in the sector on the African continent. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The House of Representatives is set to consider a landmark bill that could revolutionize Nigeria's cocoa industry. This follows President Bola Tinubu's transmission of the National Cocoa Management Board Establishment Bill 2025 for expeditious consideration by the Green Chamber. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikben reports.
After decades of decline, there's hope for revival of cocoa production in Nigeria with the presidential request for the establishment of a national cocoa management board. The executive bill is perceived to be a game changer in promoting competitiveness of the cash crop and the quest for economic diversification.
The bill seeks to establish a national cocoa management board to regulate, promote, and harmonize cocoa-related activities across the country and for other connected purposes. The establishment of the board will enhance effective coordination of the cocoa value chain, improve standards, and strengthen Nigeria's participation in the global cocoa economy.
Still on agriculture, the House resolved to look into challenges affecting domestic rice production and the closure of rice mills around the country.
The unchecked smuggling of rice through porous borders has made legitimate operators uncompetitive, compromised food safety, and emboldened criminal activities. The country may be losing billions of naira due to the closure of most of these rice mills.
An ad hoc committee was set up to investigate federal government landed properties and buildings abandoned across the country.
National Library Building, Abuja, Nigerian Newsprint Manufacturing Company Building, Kaduna, Kaduna Textile Building, Nigerian Aluminium Smelting Company, Delta State, etc. Federal government can rescue some of the landed properties and buildings and projects through private-public partnership to avoid continuous wastage and weakening of the structures and loss of value.
Lawmakers also queried non-compliance with some provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act.
Many oil companies failed to fund the host community development trust as incorporated and have not been able to pay the sums equal to 3% of the actual annual operating expenditures to the host communities trust funds in their areas of operations.
30 bills passed first reading at Wednesday's plenary, including the National Mines Rangers Establishment Bill 2025. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The School for the Gifted, Gwagwalada, Abuja, has emerged the overall winner of the 10th edition of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies National Quiz Competition on the Legislature and Democracy for Senior Secondary Schools in Nigeria. Mohammed Rabiu Ali has details of the grand finale.
It was a keen contest among participating schools from the 6 geopolitical zones. The annual competition was initiated by NILS 10 years ago to instill legislative process and procedure on students, as well as catch them young in deepening democratic governance.
To our dear students, I say you are the future custodian of Nigerian democracy. What you learn here goes beyond quiz competition. It even goes beyond quiz questions. It's about leadership, about integrity, about teamwork, and respect for diverse opinions. And these are the very principles that sustain democratic governance in any country.
School for the Gifted Abuja won the first position, followed by Model Secondary School Akure, Ondo State, after a tiebreaker, while Annunciation Catholic College, Irua, Edo, went home with second and third position in that order.
I feel very happy and satisfied.
Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News24. We'll take a break here. There'll be more reports when we return this day.
Happy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year is here. This festive season, enjoy extra savings on luxury and comfortable sofa sets, modern and functional dining sets, sophisticated and smart bed sets, and our royal collections. Classy, premium, and truly exclusive. Shop 10 million naira and receive a complimentary Daisy tea set. Spend 15 million and take home a 65-inch smart TV. Go higher at 20 million and experience unmatched comfort with our exclusive massage chair. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online. It's big, it's bold, it's unforgettable. It's Baffy Furniture's legendary final sale of the year.
manufacturer to win the National Productivity Order of Merit Award by the Federal Government of Nigeria, endorsed by the Association of Private Medical Practitioners of Nigeria. This is an evidence of 100% natural goodness, great quality and great taste. So eat healthy to live longer. Use a Risco tomato paste and products. Buy now and enjoy up to 20% discount.
Feel the power of precision, engineered to perfection. Every component is crafted with care, and each design is meticulously tested. From concept to creation, our engineers push the boundaries of technology, seamlessly blending performance and sustainability with a deep commitment to African ingenuity. Introducing the CNG Boss, a remarkable achievement in engineering designed to operate on compressed natural gas, a cleaner and more sustainable fuel alternative. At Innocent Vehicles, we proudly lead the way in creating greener mobility across Africa. And it doesn't stop there. From SUVs to sedans, spacious buses to electric cars, Innocent offers a wide range of models designed to meet every need. Innocent Vehicle, the pride of African roads.
This is NTA News24.
Many thanks for staying on. The British Council will be holding a conference in collaboration with UNICEF and partners with the theme, Language, Education and Inclusion, Empowering Every Learner, bringing together policymakers, educators and researchers from around the world. The Director, English Program, Sub-Saharan in Africa, Julian Parry, says over 250 participants will explore strategies to improve learning outcomes through effective language policies, bilingual practices, teachers training, and the use of technology in language education. The event, according to Julian Parry, will feature plenary sessions, interactive workshops, and panel discussions to share evidence and practical solutions for language-responsive education.
Our work in schools is trying to improve learning outcomes for pupils and to improve inclusion. So there are many actors in the field. There are many policymakers with slightly different ideas. So we want to share ideas that the final goal is that kids leave school with better learning outcomes. So they're able to achieve their ambitions in life, whether that's further education, employment, international travel. You know, this is what we're aiming for. Of course, one conference can't achieve all of this. This is one step in a very long process. But it's really great to have trusted partners talking to each other, sharing ideas. What we don't want to do is be pedantic and say, you know, you have to do it like this. If there was one obvious solution, every government in the world would do it and there wouldn't be a problem.
As part of a wider crackdown on criminal gangs operating across the nation, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has paraded suspected members of a notorious gang allegedly responsible for a series of violent crimes in the Federal Capital Territory, Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, and Ondo states. Dennis Temple reports.
These are among the criminal elements tarnishing Nigeria's image in the global community, now facing the consequences of their alleged crimes.
Terrorism, kidnapping, and murder syndicates. This happened in Benue, Plateau, and Nasarawa states. The squad arrested Ibrahim Hudu, 30 years, and Azam Ibrahim, 23 years, in Lafia on October 15, 2025. Suspect admitted and confessed his involvement in the act.
Ni ban kashe ba, amma wanda muna tafiya da su sun kashe mutane biyu.
They tell me that I should go and wait for my brother. Now at the wait, I hear they kill my brother.
Ever since then, it has been very traumatic and challenging.
While pardoning the suspects, the NSCDC reaffirmed its commitment to collaborate with other security agencies to rid the country of criminal elements and restore the nation's pride.
We indulge our people out there. You know, we have a cliche that is, when you see something, please say something. Because when you say something about that thing you see, we'll be able to do something about it. The
court added that all suspects will be charged to court upon the conclusion of investigations. In Abuja, Dennis Temple, NTA News.
Nasarawa State is set to benefit from a $500 million World Bank Presidential Food System Program in Guinea Savannah Zone. Aliyu Tijani reports that Governor Abdullahi Sule said this at a meeting in Lafia with the delegates for the Agroecological Zonal Workshop.
The Agroecological Zonal Workshop aims to ensure key stakeholders have input in what affects them as the Presidential Food System Coordinating Unit embarks on the design for the Savannah Zone Agro Sustainable Program. The Manager Impact Assessment of the Presidential Food System Coordinating Unit, Eniola Akindele, says the sustainable agriculture for value chain environment for growth Agro is a World Bank program that dwells zonal consultations across agricultural zones to receive the input and perception of stakeholders on the component of the program.
Technical working group has been working seamlessly, working hardworkingly. We have several calls. First off, we determine the value chain this project is going to actually support, and we try to actually make it as empirical as possible without bias.
Governor Abdullahi Sule expresses delight with the listing of the state as one of the benefiting subnationals for the intervention, stressing that it will promote value chain in agriculture.
And I'm happy that when you are going, you are taking also some of the states, so that we can continue to learn from one another, so because when you take from one state to another, then the other state will continue. Next time, our Commissioner for Agri will have the opportunity of going to Kaduna or Kwara or Jigawa, and then you will see certain things they are doing there, and then you can bring that back so we can also learn from that. Because
Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
And now to the field of builders. Incessant collapse of buildings has formed major media headlines in time past and still poses potential risk if allowed to be overwhelmed by unskilled artisans and unprofessional bodies. The wheel of change is about to take shape in the industry as experts in the build-up environment converged on Abuja to chart a new course at the investiture of the 23rd President and induction of new fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Building. Tope Alabi reports.
Incidents of building collapse in Nigeria have risen to 679, claiming at least 1,639 lives, with over 180 incidents reported between 2002 and 2025, out of which 47 cases occurred across 14 states in 2024, according to reports by the Building Collapse Prevention Guild. The critical role the Nigerian Institute of Building plays in shaping the country's built environment is the crux of conversations at the investiture of the 23rd President and induction of new fellows to address challenges of poor construction practices, affordable housing, and urban planning across the nation.
The regulatory body of the building profession must keep the gate of competence firmly closed against concrete, and the ministry will provide the policy leadership.
The same way the MIE will be important in houses, the digital readiness of a house should be a precursor in 21st century.
Let your tenure be remembered as one that deepened professionalism, strengthened ethics, expanded opportunities, and amplified the voice of builders in national development.
Together, let's keep building the future.
The building code specify the roles of every professionals within the industry, necessary punishment for anyone who deter or anyone who does things that causes problem.
Governor Francis Wifuru, Kazim Adeshino, and Jalilat Abdul Hamid were among the 38 newly inducted fellows of the Institute, and the task ahead is to promote sustainable construction practices and reduce quackery, accounting for 54% of building collapses in Nigeria.
And their job is to carry everybody along and to advise more
So that's what we're expecting, advancing and enhancing the development and the technology in building profession.
We have had a meeting and we are still going to do our own best to improve the production of building in the country, to make building so easy and economical for Nigerians.
The National Building Code has been in law since 2006. We need to work with the professionals and we need to warn the quacks that people that build and collapse, they are going to go to jail.
The message for all Nigerians is to be wise, build right, and engage professional builders while leveraging adaptive technologies for affordable and safe buildings. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye Mui.
So the emphasis now, if your local government has something